realized that there is a huge need for me to buy a car. My dream car has always been an A45. Welcome everybody, my name is Mtweni Peterson, and if you are a returning subscriber, I just want to say thank you very much. And if you've been watching the videos but you've been hesitant to subscribe, guys, please like and subscribe, and I can assure you, you are definitely going to enjoy the content that we put out, the messages that we're trying to drive across as well. And in today's video, guys, we are going to, yes, talk about Peterson buying a car. And I think it's been long overdue, guys, from taking taxis, buses, and yeah, but I can definitely assure you guys that convenience is something that everybody deserves. Think about a time when you wake up late for work, when you wake up late for that particular event, wake up late for that particular appointment. You have to request. Yes, sometimes because it's at night, or maybe because it's raining, or because it is just a busy day. The Uber drivers take forever to accept a particular trip. And also, it depends on how far you might be going. And think about that one time when you are wearing a suit, you're wearing a tie, you're taking your person out, or you are just going somewhere important, or even for an interview. When you are in a taxi and you are wearing a suit, it just doesn't fit in. Or that particular, day where you have to travel with a whole lot of luggage. You have 3 bags, pillows, you have some things that your grandmother gave to you that you should take back with you to your house or wherever it is that you stay. Guys, you honestly going to need your own vehicle. You are going to need your own space. With the type of businesses that I run as well, I realized that there is a huge need for me to buy a car. My dream car has always been an A45, but remember guys, you need to start somewhere, and this is my start. I honestly just want to say thank you very much to everybody that has supported each and every single initiative, any project, and any business that I've already started. From 2019 to date, everybody that has also applied to also enroll for our classes, I just want to say that I am really thankful, guys. It is more than just 1,750 for classes that you have just paid for me to teach you guys. That particular amount of money has made a dream become a reality. And I just want to say thank you very much to all my friends that have always given me a lift, always transported me from point A to point B. And I just want to start with thanking my uncle Soli, who has always assisted me with moving from point A to point B in my first year, taking me to varsity in my second year as well, and picking me up. Sometimes you go to a place with nothing and you come back with a whole lot of things, and you might need somebody to help you carry out those things as well. And it can be troublesome, especially wanting to use taxis, because taxi drivers are now very hesitant for them to carry a whole lot of load. So I thought to myself, this is something that I need to do for myself. And those of you that understand the story and know that I've moved back home, you now know that Hammarsdal is about 4 hours away from Randburg, because that is exactly where I work. Having to wake up at 4 or 5 a.m., having to come back taxi, they have to town, look for people inside, the hood, drive around, and absolutely you don't have any say. You can't even say I'm late, because remember, the driver is not late, you are late. He's on time, you are rushing. So I realized because of all of those things, guys, and taking a bus, sometimes metro bus, they stuck. And by the time that I used to stay in Joburg, there were a couple of times, guys, where we had to struggle. Metro buses are late, or you had to queue and fill up your bus tag. And let's be honest, using an Uber can be very expensive, guys, and you cannot honestly rely on them. And having something that you call your own is something that I definitely needed to do for myself. And I also just want to also go to a bit of memory lane with my friend CJ. And when we went to a couple of events, coming back late, having to pick up a couple of things, and also buying groceries, guys. It is troublesome having to use public transport, and I thought to myself, this cannot be my life. So what did I do? First thing that I had to do, guys, is to move back home. That was the first move. In 2023, I had to move back home in November. So I spent home December 2023, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Then December 2024, that's when I bought my car. And guys, it is not just a car, but it is a mode of transport that is going to help me and enhance my mobility. I can be able to move around. I can be able to visit friends and families. I can be able to go whenever I want, when I want. And of course, we know petrol prices have gone up. So that's why I also chose a car that runs on diesel, because it is quite cheaper compared to petrol as well. So I want to run you guys down how is it that, my day looked like on the day that I went to buy a car. And I remember the day before being driven by my friend, and his name is Kiorati Gaj. And I told him to say, you know what, this thing of you having to drive me around will one day come to an end, because it is a little bit of an inconvenience for me to always having to ask you to drive me from point A to point B. And I realized that this is a time for me to, get something that is of my own as well. And let's be honest, guys, there's a difference when somebody says Kekontle and when I'm outside. There's a huge difference. And I remember I used to have a friend who said, if you are outside and you are walking, you can't say you are outside or Kekontle because you are walking. But it's a different tone when you are driving your own car and say, Pip, I'm outside. It has a different feeling to it, guys, and I know what that feels like also. So the first thing that I needed to do, guys, I knew that I wanted to buy a car, but I couldn't drive. So I had to learn how to drive. And also, I had to go and get my learner's license, which costed 240 for you to do the learner's license as well. And after that, I had to pay for driving lessons. Had to pay for driving license and also ask one of my friends to also teach me how to drive. And that is Gaja Kioradili. He is a photographer, by the way. If you're looking for a photographer, please contact Kioradili or 2000 Lifestyle on Instagram. So he taught me how to drive, and when I was comfortable enough, then I decided that I'm going to go get my license. At the testing station, there's a lot that goes on at the drivers, at the driving station or a testing station. So I went to Mabopane, and on the day I had made the booking, made the payment, and it was time for me to drive. They give you a huge truck. So I got into the truck, started the car, drove around a couple of blocks, went I don't know what the actual name in English is called, but on the part where that particular station where they test if you are able to drive or not. And because it was very hot, guys, I had to buy Coca-Cola. But anyway, definitely had to do that, buy a cold drink, obviously, because it was hot. And I was told that I am going to get my license in about 2 weeks. And because of that picture, my eyes are looking a bit square. I'm looking left, and they took the picture. I didn't even get a chance to say, hey, Malume, my eyes are looking left. Guys, they don't have time. It's hush. People are on a hurry. So I didn't honestly get a chance for me to say, Malume, please make a plan. Can I please take another bit? There's not Instagram. There's no filter. Whatever they take belongs to you. And I was like, okay, you know what? It's fine. 2 weeks passed by. Got an SMS to say, Peterson, your license is ready, come and collect. I went with my cousin Ababue, and I just want to say, Mr. Somo, Lisibane Ababue, I really appreciated my dog. You've carried me from the first time I went to get my learners to when I went to do my license. You've been with me throughout. And on the day that I went to buy my car, I woke up, didn't even tell my mom anything. I was like, Mamzo, I'm heading out somewhere with Ababue. I'll come back later. And he was like, okay, sharp. Then I headed out with my cousin who fetched me with his car. Then we went around shopping from, if you guys know Pretoria, we went that whole of Gezina. Yeah, we drove around looking for a particular car, and obviously with the budget that we had. He was like, do not worry, we are going to be patient, we are going to look for a car that you like, and we are going to find something that you definitely are comfortable with. So we went around Gezina, we saw Quid, we saw Polo, so the main thing was for me to get an automatic car, because the driving was not that perfect, because I was still learning, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to get a manual, it's a bit, but I was like, you know what, anything that comes, I'll have to learn nonetheless. So drove around a couple of blocks, went to a different car dealerships, compared prices, compared the kilometers as well, looking at how the car looked as well, the condition of the car. And one of the most important things that I would like for you guys to take away from this is that compare prices so that you can be able to save on money. Try and negotiate as well. Do not go for the first price that they give you guys. Try and negotiate as much as possible, because you are trying to save. And as much as you have a budget, but remember now, there's other things that you would like to do on that car. It could be alterations, it could be that you want to modify the car, and you are going to need that bit of money. So try and negotiate as much as possible. And so that's what we did, going from this shop to that shop, telling them to say, this is the offer that we have, that's what you are giving us. So I don't know, can we bargain, can we try and and negotiate the discount? They didn't budge. Went around. He called his other friend, I think it's Desmond, from our hood. He works for We Buy Cars. We went to We Buy Cars. We looked around. We took this other car, a Chevrolet, for a test drive. We drove it around. And my cousin, because he knows more about cars compared to me, I was like, I don't like the condition of this particular car, because you can hear, and the fan belt also, there was a lot of things. There was just funny sounds. The price was good, was definitely what we were looking for, but I don't think he was appreciative of the fact that there was a whole lot of taka no happening, man. But anyway, we told them, listen, we're going to compare prices with Wheelie as well. So we left We Buy Cars, then we went to Wheelie. When we got to Wheelie, there was a gentleman who stood up and welcomed us, and he said, listen guys, I am going to assist you. And I think more than anything, I appreciate those salesmen that really take their job very serious, not those ones that scroll on TikTok the whole day. That guy stood up and said, guys, I have your car. Your car is here. And that more than anything put me at ease, knowing that I am going to be assisted by somebody who really enjoys and loves what they do. Sharp. Got into Wheelie, looked around, we saw this other Ford Figo, and I was like, this thing is looking super fresh. He was like, you wanna go and have a test drive? I was like, yeah, I'm comfortable with it. Drove it around, perfect. Air condition. The first thing was, I want to have air conditioning. That's our FISA. Guys, I'm from Madagascar. It can get very, very, very hot. And in Pretoria in general. So I was like, anything with a car, air conditioner would be something that I would go for. I shop air conditioner. But when he came back, and I said, this is the car that I want to sign. Where do we sign? They said that they don't have the DECA report. That's the other thing, guys. You need to check the DECA report that shows the condition of that particular car that you are buying. Do not just focus on the price, but also think about the condition of the car that you are also buying, because that is very important. The price could be good, but the car condition could not be excellent. So there's different levels to it as well. There's the green, the gold, the silver, and the ready to go. So those are some of the things that you need to consider when buying a car. Do you want the manual? Do you want an automatic? Do you want the diesel? Do you want the petrol? You understand? So I went in there with a particular car in mind. And as and when we were talking about the type of model that I'm looking for, and after we went or came back with the Ford Figo after test driving it, and I was like, this is my car. They told me that they don't have the DECA report. I need to come back the following day. I was a bit bummed out, to be quite honest. But guess what? I saw this little beauty over here. And guess what? They said, this car is going for a price that you also want. I looked at the kilometers, I looked at the condition of the car, and I asked for the car keys. We went for a test drive. Guys, the first one that I played was vocalistic, Ntjaka Mei Dawg. I choose number one, come on. Test driving, and I said, guys, I don't want to discuss anything anymore. This is the car that I want. It was on auction as well. Remember now, with auctions and bidding, you need to be able to give the best price as well. But because I had the budget for it, and by the way, it was bought cash, it was through savings, and also there was a bit of assistance here and there as well. So I took the car, and when it was time for us to sign on the dotted line and for me to sign my name on the car, I was told that the price that we saw is not the price that they're selling it for. And I was a bit shocked to say, why is that the case? And I was told that now we're going to talk to the manager and all of that. When salesmen say, hi, let me see what I can do. We have been taken for a ride. And I was like, you know what, let me let this guy do what he needs to do, because we saw a particular price, but they are telling us that the actual price online is a particular price. And I was like, okay, no, it's fine, let me give you a chance, do what you need to do, speak to your manager. I was getting a bit, bored and disinterested now, being told different stories, and I was like, you know what, it's fine. We'll come back tomorrow once you guys have fixed the price, but this car, can you please reserve it for me? I want this car. Oh, we drove out, not even 2 minutes. He called us back. Hey, Peterson, hey, your car is ready. We're giving it for I think they even gave us, 11,000 discount on that particular car that my cousin and I not drive very fast. We went back to Wheelie. We got there and I said, I am transferring the money immediately right now. So I did that. I transferred the funds into their account. They saw the proof of payment as well. I signed on the dotted line. They gave me the car keys and they wanted to do the whole balloon and smokes and all of that. I was like, I ain't having any of that. I just want my car. I want to drive home. But remember, guys, I'm not a good driver. When they gave me the keys, I was definitely sweating because I knew that I'm not a very good driver. Yes, I have my license. Yes, I have my learners. I know how to drive. I know how to move the car. But am I going to drive this car from here, Centurion, back home? So gave me the car keys, started the car, left wheelie. When we got to an incline, that's when the problem started. The car switched off, but my cousin drives automatic car, so we switched. So I drove his car and he drove my car, and up we went to Amaskal, and my mother was very excited and she was very surprised with the rest of the family as well. We got there, we started hooting, the normal stuff, I bought a car, celebration, and we drove for almost, I think, 1 hour because I had to be very careful as well. And yeah, that's the story of me buying a car, guys. Congratulations to me as well. Thank you very much, guys. If you've liked this video, please definitely subscribe and recommend it to your friends and family. I really appreciate it, to each and every single person who has assisted me financially, who has supported any of my businesses, and to my employer. Thank you very much for making this possible, and thank you to the Almighty God. Thank you very much, guys. This is Walk That Talk, and this has been nice. Arsalebo Johnny Walker. Wanswar. Wanswar.